Guys, we are back at Sowder Speed in Riverside Ave in Bristol, Connecticut to talk about the hottest new bike on the market today. I'm jaded, I'm not easily impressed, and it's hard for me to open my wallet as wide as I did as this one, but the whole family approved of it, and there's a bunch of reasons why we're gonna get into in a second, but you know, I own the New England Motorcycle Museum. We have quite a few hot rod Harleys there, but out of the box, this is the fastest, most horsepower of any production big twin Harley Davidson has ever made. The Pan American isn't really a big twin, that's 150 horse, but this one put down 128 rear wheel horsepower with just the thunder header and the tuner, the tuning that Matt did to it. And some of the features of this bike that blew me away when I first saw it, other than it's the most badass looking road glide I've ever seen straight out of the box, but it has the Showa 43 millimeter inverted forks, the Brembo disc brakes, the big calipers, the right rims. It has the remote reservoir Showa shocks, which I put on my road glide, my 2016 road glide, and upgraded this to the Öhlins. But out of the box, it's got the best of everything. It didn't have the seat, so we had to do a, I went with the tall boy saddle because it didn't have they don't come with a passenger seat, and I ride with Christy all the time, so I had to do the passenger seat and the backrest so she doesn't fly off the back, because trust me, with the horsepower and torque this has got, you've got to have that, or your passenger's going flying off the back when you crack the throttle. And we had to put the pegs, we put the HDMC pegs. Other than that, this is the way it came out of the box. We did add on the, thanks to my friends at Clockworks, for the 12-inch shield on the front here, because with the stock shield is so short, there's a lot of wind buffeting for the passenger. So this is set up not only for a passenger, but it now hauls ass. Stock, they say it's 122, is that correct, at the rear wheel? No, at the crank. At the crankshaft, yeah. At the crank. So Matt has worked his magic in the dyno room over here and tuned it with the Screaming Eagle tuner and the Thunder Header exhaust. I went with the Thunder Header because it's lighter than stock. It sounds badass. The stock exhaust is titanium and carbon fiber, and it looks killer, but it sounds horrendous. I mean, it doesn't even sound like, it sounds like a vacuum cleaner. So this is my go-to pipe. They're lightweight, they're easy to refinish if you ever have to refinish it. They're easy to, if you ever have to repair it, they're weldable, and they just flat out work on the dyno. So I love the Thunder Headers. But back to this engine here. This is a 121 cubic inch Milwaukee 8 high output with the, it has the VVT cam cover, but it doesn't have the VVT. I'll let Matt explain the reasons why on that. But this intake has 26% more airflow in the tuned intake. The M8 is twin cooled. It has liquid cooling. I'll let Matt show how that works, and the and oil cooled, of course, but it's an absolute monster of an engine, and it looks the part, and it's a lot of fun to ride. Matt actually texted me yesterday. He goes, "This thing's a lot of fun to ride." So Matt, tell us a little bit about how did Harley do this? How did they get super bike horsepower out of what looks like a traditional Harley engine? We talked about that too, how it has to, or other guys won't buy it. But tell us a little bit more about this.
So that is one of the biggest difficulties with the Harley engineers, is that Harley Davidson people are purists, and they love the V-twin look, they love the push rod motors, but they want them to be faster, they want to be cooler, they want to be reliable. So Harley has a lot of obstacles to go through, and so they went with a 4-valve head, which has been proven on a lot of different platforms, and they've been able to improve the flow. So you still have the push rod look of the motor, and like you said, the oil cooling. So we still have oil cooling from our regular oil pump here, which pumps up here and lubricates all of our internal parts. But then we were also able to sneak up front here a radiator to add liquid cooling onto this motor as well. So this radiator pumps around here, comes up into the heads, and it goes across around the exhaust valves, goes into the other head, cools around that exhaust valve, and then comes back to complete the circuit.
Show us on the other side.